Hey, so I've been training martial arts for about a year and a half now, and for a little over a month I've been training with my gym's fight team. And the coaches I have always tell me to watch a lot of film to raise my fight IQ and to be able to see real examples of the stuff they teach me. But I was talking to an experienced fighter on the team and he was talking about how he likes to watch Don Fry. Not necessarily for his fight IQ or his technical skills. He likes watching him more for his fighting spirit. So today I just wanted to share with you 7 fights that I like to watch for the same reason. And even though I watch these fights more for the fighting spirit, a lot of them are still super technical. First one is Sha Ali versus Petr Yan. For the first one, I wanted to mention someone you've probably heard of, and most people have heard of Sha Ali. But in this fight, he made a huge jump in the rankings because Petr Yan was ranked number 1 at this point, and I think Sha Ali was ranked number 8 or something. Okay, according to Google AI, he was ranked number 12. And a lot of people thought he was just going to get beat up by Petr Yan, myself included, but it ended up being a really good back and forth fight. So if you want to see some really good MMA striking, make sure you check this one out. Second one is Ratang versus Superlek. So in case you don't follow Muay Thai, these are 2 of the best Muay Thai fighters in the world right now. And when they fought, it was even better than what I imagined it was going to be. The crowd also made it really entertaining too. If you don't know Thai crowds, they get really into it during the fights.
See just how big Superlek looks training in the super fight.
But this was a really good fight, and it was super technical too. So if you're new to Muay Thai, you should definitely check this one out. I forgot to mention, but I'll link every fight in the description below. But genuinely, if you do Muay Thai and you haven't seen this fight, you should really pause this video and go watch this right now. But make sure you come back to see the rest. Third is Eubank versus Nigel Benn. I don't know if he's as popular in America, but Eubank is someone who's really popular in England. And for those of you that do know him, people kind of know him as just a fancy, proper man.
It's a beautiful summer's day. The breeze is stupendous. We have to be crazy, we have to be deluded, we have to be nuts. We have to be the nuts. We have to be the bollocks. That language is acceptable.
But at the gym I work at back home, I have a really good friend who's also a boxing coach for me. And after work, what we would do is we would train, and then we would go to his car and watch a bunch of boxing film. And he would just teach me about fight IQ and proper technique. But we decided to watch this fight because both of us haven't seen it before. And we were like, wow, this is a really good fight. And after this fight, they fought another time. And they also did some gladiator stuff for a TV show. And even right now, both of their kids are about to fight each other, which will be exciting to watch.
You're in for a shock of your life, you know that? No, you are. What, you think I'm going to be a walk in the park?
I mean, yeah, on a nice summer's day. Yeah. Again.
But it was just really cool seeing the contrast between Eubank outside of the ring and him in the ring. But yeah, this was a great fight. Next is Joshua versus Klitschko. I might be a tiny bit biased on why I like this one so much, because me and Anthony Joshua were born in the same town in England. We were both born in Watford. But I like to watch Anthony Joshua a lot because I'm still pretty new to combat sports. And he's just someone who has really good fundamentals. And also, since he's a heavyweight, it's a little bit easier to watch him than if I was watching someone in the lighter weight class. Because since I'm still pretty new, it's sometimes a little bit too fast to understand. But this was the first time he was really tested in a fight. This was the first time he got dropped, and when he got dropped, it was pretty bad. And if you know anything about boxing, you've heard that Klitschko is a really good fighter. And he is. So this was just some really good boxing. And this would be a great fight to watch if you're still pretty new to boxing. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a warning for the 5th one because the next one might surprise you. The 5th one I like to watch for martial arts inspiration is a grappling match between the very well liked Dillon Danis and Jackson Sosa. So this one may surprise you, but I like to watch it because everyone kind of sees Dillon Danis as an online troll, which he is of course, but here you got to see him as just a very intelligent and well-educated martial artist. And here he was grappling someone who was obviously bigger and what I could only assume more athletic. But again, the same reason why I like the Eubank fight, you just got to see the contrast between his public persona and who he is as a martial artist. And it kind of just shows you can't judge a book by its cover. I'm still pretty new to jiu-jitsu myself, so a lot of it I don't really understand the moves, but it's still just really cool to see. 6th fight was a recent one, and that was Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis. So a lot of people say Israel Adesanya is boring, and he has had some fights that didn't have a lot of action. But in this fight, he was exchanging, and he was exchanging with one of the hardest hitters in the 185 division. And Dricus always has really good fights. Even in his early days, he was having super exciting fights. But in this fight, you got to see all facets of MMA, both striking and grappling. And I most likely have recency bias for this fight, but as of right now, it's still one of my favorite fights to watch. Now, this fight happened a decent amount of time ago, but but there was Mike Zambidis versus Chahid. But this fight, haven't really seen anything like it because they were both just swinging from start to finish. And like most of the fights on this list, it was really back and forth, but just a really good kickboxing fight. For those of you that don't know, the difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing is that in kickboxing, there's no clinching and there's no elbows. And because of that, there's more footwork and movement involved most of the time. But if you're still pretty green like me, Mike Zambidis is a really good person to watch, especially if you're a little bit shorter. So these were just 7 fights that I like to watch for martial arts inspiration. Let me know in the comment section below if there's any you like. But if you're new to martial arts, these would be some really good fights to check out, especially the Superlek vs Rodtang one and the Anthony Joshua vs Klitschko one. Also, if you're thinking about getting into martial arts and you want to go to a martial arts gym for the first time, there is some things you should know, so you should check this video out right here. But if you're new to the channel and you like this video, make sure to subscribe. And I appreciate you watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.